This is Rebecca, the Steampunk Planner, and I wanted to share with you the enjoyment that my husband, brother, and I had on Saturday. And that is, we went to Berea, and Berea has supports a Kentucky Guild of Artists and Craftsmen, and they did their fall artist market this weekend. And to my knowledge, I'm not absolutely sure, but normally it's supposed to be in the Kentucky Artisan Center, which is a huge building, and it would be taking care of everybody. But instead, all of the vendors were set up outside. There were 66 vendors, and that was not including food or drink or music or the child booth. So it was amazing. We really enjoyed the whole time. Now I'm only going to go over, I've got a slew of cards, but I'm only going to go over the ones that I actually purchased items from. So Sally is a Gourd painter. She does a folk artist work. And this is one of the ornaments that we purchased, and it is gorgeous. We did purchase another, but I don't want to give away all of our Christmas gifts. So I just wanted to show you, it does rattle inside, which is, I don't know if it's sand or anything, but it's very adorable. And I do want to share, I have this book, which I did purchase. I'm going to quickly fast forward through this, but I purchased this book over at Gray Line Station when they had Christmas fair last year. And every time we go anywhere, I will smack the cards in here so that I always have them to reference. So these are that will have a home here. So first I want to talk about Steve Wood Crafters. Now he creates all different types of wood items, but what pulled me into his booth is the fact that he had pens. He had quite a few pens. And so I went in and asked him, do you do fountain pens? It's one of the biggest frustrations I have when I go to craft fairs, where I want to support Kentucky artists, but they don't bring any fountain pens in. And he did, and I was so blessed. We had a great conversation. I apologize. I did not record it. I should have, but I didn't. Anyhow, he has suppliers that he can either get alcohol, wood from the barrels, the curing barrels, where he can make these. He can bring in stone, marble, where he can make the fountain pens, or rollerball pens. Or he has ones where, like this one, this is a deer antler. And he can get elk antler, I mean, just about anything. He doesn't work in ivory from my knowledge, which I appreciate, but these are all sent in to him, and he works on them from there. Depending on the look of the stone or like the antlers, he decides at that point if he's going to use sterling silver or if he's going to use gold. But each of the pens have uniqueness to them. On this, in each of the silver areas, it has a rope type of pattern. I think it's gorgeous. It does thread on and off, which is fine. It's very weighted. It's substantial. So if you're a writer that doesn't want to have a pen that has the weight to it, this may not work for you. But it's fine for me. And having it as weighted, I don't have to worry about the cap. Now the cap will not screw on to the back or clip onto the back. But as you can see, it sets down. I don't have to worry about it rolling all over the place on me. It also fits in my hand very well without being too long or too short. The nib is beautiful. It's an 18 karat gold nib along with stainless steel. And it has a stem that it goes into. So if I want to replace this, I would need to replace it with the nib and the stem together, which there are multiple different sites that you can get them on, and one of them being Pen Realm. There are quite a few others. I'm not going about that now. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on this pen and an up-close video on it, but this does come with a converter. and it hadn't been used as of yet, so I really needed to work that piston up and down just to get it to seat properly within the plunger, and then it worked fine. So this did come with it, and he did carry a lot of different nibs. I will, like I said, go into more detail later. But this was an amazing buy. I appreciate my husband for letting me do this, especially since he has gotten me so many new pins for my birthday, which we'll be going over in a different video also. But we'll get this one packaged back up, and then we're going to move on to the next item. Next is Elliott Pottery. Now this is actually done by Annie, and we got to talk with her. She does some amazing work. It's not a cookie cutter run-of-the-mill. Do you see all of this extra veining work? It is gorgeous, and I don't mean to distract from other potterers, because we also ran into Thomas, and we actually bought pottery from him. He also throws, but he works in Raku. He is a Kentucky artist, and wow, we were just so totally impressed with his work. Raku, it's made by, when you fire the thrown pot, you can either fire it in the ground and have items in with it, and I'm talking about like metal, wiring, moss, grass, hair, all kinds of hair, any fabric, cotton, and all of those will create a different color on the pottery. And since Kentucky is considered the horse country, what Thomas did is he created pottery using horse hair. And he told us it's a process that he has to do very quickly because the hair melts very fast. So here is the pot, and it's actually a pouring pitcher that we chose. And we do plan to contact him for probably 2 other pieces for our mantle, and maybe some other pieces in the house. I don't know right yet, but we're definitely going to finish everything out for the mantle. So he is definitely one that I would contact if you're looking for anything unique like this. I actually love his black and white one here too. So the next person I want to talk about is Susan. And I really want to take a little bit of time on this one because as an artist, I look for art that inspires me, moves me, brings emotion, and when I walked up to Susan's booth, oh my gosh, it was an amazing experience to be able to find an artist that can do that for me. I do have artists that I love. I have artists that I follow on YouTube, Instagram, different things like that. But this is the first time in a long time since I've had this feeling and experience. When we go to art shows, I don't often find artists that do this. And Susan is one. So here is her information. Please do check out her website, her Instagram. And if you're interested in anything, please do reach out to her. I honestly just cannot say enough about her work. I stood in awe in her booth, and I definitely will be contacting her for more. This is the image that I purchased. And this is Susan, who is the artist. She works in pen and ink and in graphite. We talked, and she does work in other mediums, but these are her favorites. And this, honestly, the image, the picture does not give it justice. It is exquisite. So please do reach out. And at this point, I just want to exclaim or to please ask, go to your local art shows and really take a look and invest in your artists, because it is really important. Your community is not just around sports or parties. It is an artist community, and that is where you have history and family. If it's not art, it's not the world I want to be in. But I hope it's a world that you want to be in with art. Thank you for joining me.